Hello. I look a little different today. I'm trying out my costume for an event that I'm going to, but I also realized that I'm moving. Yay! But I have not shown off these shelves in this state in the 2 years that I've had them like it. This is for a variety of reasons. One of the big ones being I've had no motivation really to make any videos. But this is a log for myself, not for you, about just how my shelves have looked since I started reading and collecting books. Now, lately I have not been buying very many books because it's become a little bit too much of a problem. I definitely have new ones that I've got slowly, but I'm trying to read more than I buy at the moment. All that to say, this is how my shelves look, and I'll briefly show you each one and anything notable about them in a costume for a character that doesn't really look like me. First shelf I'll show you briefly is the black shelf. I've got a variety of things, including randomly the 6th volume of Pun Pun, Hitchhiker's Guide, Dune, Lord of the Rings, and some other ones. Notable mentions, or interesting things, is this bonsai, which I still haven't finished building. Still have the fall variety, the pink variant there. And I got these little Lord of the Rings Lego characters walking to my little Lego Barad-dûr that my friend made for me. Next down, we've got green. So this one's one of my favorites for a couple reasons. One, we've got this Hobbit that I got for very cheap a long time ago. We've got Beartown, which is my favorite book of all time. I am a primarily fantasy and sci-fi reader. Beartown is contemporary fiction, and it blew my mind away. And I'm trying to force every person on the planet to read it. It's so good. And Trust of the Emerald Sea, another one of my all-time favorites. This is a secret project. I'm pretty sure that I got these when I was living here. So, assuming you've only watched my videos and you actually have some emotional investment in me, you don't know that this exists. It's a very good book. It's illustrated. Next, we've got the color blue. You mean the Nightmare Painter, which is in the same set as Trust of the Emerald Sea. This one I got recently. My first N.K. Jemisin. This is a whole trilogy. This book is huge. I believe it is... I don't have to believe anything. It's 1,500 pages. I got this for pretty cheap, and it took a lot of convincing to get it, but I'm very glad I have this one. And what might win the contest for prettiest book covers in a series, Samantha Shannon's series, I actually don't remember what it's called, but the 3rd title just got announced and also has a very pretty cover, and I like these ones a lot. I've never touched them so far. See what this problem is? I'm like, wow, pretty cover. I'm gonna buy it. Moving on. Purple. I don't have very many purple books, so a surprising amount of them are actually hidden, and these ones are barely even purple. But I got some hidden behind the Way of Kings. These are my recipes, and by my, I mean my wife's, not mine. These 2 recipe books I recommend. They are easy to follow, they taste really good, and at least this one is worried about how much money you spend when making recipes. Anyway, Way of Kings, a beautiful book. I got this at a book exchange thing. I think it's like a Christian fantasy. I'm looking forward to it. A guy recommended it to me that I know. And I actually really enjoy the cover. And it's got a foreword by C.S. Lewis, which I like this. I like that guy. And I meant to put those on. The 3rd novel in the Beartown trilogy. Don't worry, Beartown is a standalone, but you can keep reading if you want. Have not read this one, despite it being my favorite book. I'm not sure if I'm ready to emotionally be murdered in the back of a truck, so I haven't read this one yet. I think I'm going to try to reread the first 2, which I loved both of them so much, and annotate them, and then I'll read this one. Future me can let me know how that goes. Another notable one, Binti. I have not read it yet, but I have heard great things about it. I don't have a ton of diversity in a lot of the authors I collect. A lot of them are white dudes, which, yeah, nothing wrong with white dudes, but you know, more women, more multicultural would be probably good for me to read more, because I like to expand my what I understand. And this author, I'm not even going to try to say her name, but this is a trilogy of short novellas, and I really like novellas. I fell in love with them recently, and they are wonderful. Pirinesi, probably one of the best. Pink. There honestly isn't too much going on here for a reason that will be shown much later. Just kidding. It's because the books got moved elsewhere. No, pink books. I don't think there's anything really interesting here. All of my Malazan books, which I've, again, not read. See, this is a problem. They're just hiding here because they don't really fit anywhere else. I guess I could put them on the black shelf, but that one's already crowded. And, I don't know, I got the Sword of Shannara series. I guess it's kind of interesting. It doesn't have the dust jacket. I got it as a gift, so who am I to complain? Then we'll move on to this shelf while we're here. This is kind of just assorted. Again, more books that don't really fit anywhere else. Mass market paperbacks. Oh, any of those notable? Not really. Yeah, anyway. More books that I don't know if I've read any of those. That's not true. I've read Jurassic Park and Dune and a few others, but a lot of assorted ones. Tan and Brown. These, wow, that was a voice crack. These books fill up one shelf. We got Oathbringer over here. We have another Frederick Blackman book. My grandmother asks you to tell you she's sorry. It's interesting. This is a translated novel. So there's a second version called My Grandmother Sends Her Regrets and Regards or something. If I like it, I might read it twice. I doubt it. But, you know, I really like this author. Haven't read that book, though. More books. The Joe Abercrombie series. I just read all of these last year, and some of my favorite fantasy covers. As much as people absolutely love this series, really wasn't for me. Moving on to Red. Got some nice copies here. I have 2 copies of War and Peace. I got this one for free, and I was very disappointed to learn it was the short version. Because, you know, War and Peace is like, it's a pretty short novel. Why are people trying to shorten it? Like, anyway, this one is probably one of the heaviest books I own, especially for its size. I think it's still like something like over 1,000 pages. I'm not checking because I'm holding the phone in one hand. My Witcher books with another copy of Lord of the Rings. Oh, I got this for $1 or $2. I don't remember. It's illustrated. I haven't read any Game of Thrones yet. I'm really looking forward to it. But it's illustrated, and it has one of the best paintings of a dragon. I don't know if there's another one in here that's really cool, but this one's so cool. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to read Game of Thrones. I'm going to wait until an extremely notable thing happens with the author or the books before I read it, though. So it might be a little while. More Joe Abercrombie. Also read these last year. Akira! I'm going to show off my steel books at the end because why not? Wheel of Time. I'm not going to talk about this. Orange/red. More Stormlight. My favorite Dune cover they've made. They've done this for the second and third books in the series. I really should read those before I buy special editions because, you know, maybe I'm not going to like the book I buy a special edition of, and then I'm going to be disappointed that I bought a special edition of it. Why would I ever do that to myself? That's such a weird way to spend my money. Anyway, that was a weird pan-up. The Martian. I've probably talked about this before. Really love this cover. Hey, this always gives me a good memory. 1, it's beautiful. It's a little Lego set. But 2, I built it with some of my friends, and it was a really good time, and I enjoyed it. Another example of some of the prettiest covers in a series. It really doesn't pop as much on the paperback or on video, but it's still darn gorgeous. These are like, I write down when I loan people books. That's what those are. So that's my hit list, basically. Red, again, but more on like the red and black, because one of the coolest color combos is red and black. The Sunlit Man, this has black sprayed edges. I don't have very many sprayed edge books, but this is one of the ones that isn't sprayed edge gold or silver. So I appreciate that one a lot. It has also some beautiful illustrations, part of the same set as 2 of the ones we talked about earlier. Wow. The Witcher. Imagine buying a special edition before... Well, actually, I think I read the book. And it was fine. But... why do I do this? Like, if I had infinite money, things would be different. But I very much do not have infinite money. Fight Club. Remember I said novellas were amazing? I'm not one of those weird people who's like, oh, Fight Club's the best thing ever. It's really well written. It made me extremely uncomfortable at points, but it is so well written. I don't know, nothing else that's really interesting here. Silmarillion. And because I am a weirdo, another copy of The Sunlit Man. Why do I have 2 copies of the same book when that one, is clearly better and nicer? Because I'm weird. I bought this one second. I bought this like a year later. Why did I do that? I have problems. Hey, halfway interesting segment to show. This is a can opener, believe it or not. No elaboration, this is a can opener. Yellow with a random blue one in the middle. This isn't actually my copy of Wind and Truth. This is all of the dust jackets of books I've loaned out. I put them on the yellow shelf, I guess. Scott Pilgrim, good series. Invincible, great show. The comic's good, I guess. That's all I have to say. Blue. I like the color blue. Can you tell? I like the color blue. It's such a pretty color. I don't know. Nothing really interesting here either. Blue. Really awesome Lego set. Childhood in a Lego set. White. I kind of actually really like the design of this shelf. Oh my goodness. It's overcrowded in a way that I think looks nice. It has the Lego GLaDOS, so I've probably shown off in every single one of these videos. It is my favorite Lego creation because my friend made it, and he's good at making things in Lego, and I really like Portal. And there's my little Lego Chell with her portal gun. Maybe that's what I'll cosplay as next. Who knows? I get a Lego Jinx. They're never gonna make Jinx in Lego. That would be so sad. That would be so awesome. I would pay. Actually, I probably wouldn't pay more than $20, but I'd be pretty happy to get Lego Jinx. One Piece. I'm not going to show these off either. The reason why these two are substantially smaller than these two is because I have all of these volumes, and I have these volumes up to 66. And then I have some random volumes after that. But if I get the other volumes, they will perfectly fit. And I believe every volume up to 100 will perfectly fit on this shelf, and it will look kind of cool. In case you're curious, I've read up to Where My Hand Is. I've read these ones. Yeah, I read, but I have not read any of these or these or these. I still like the series. I just kind of fell off of reading it. We're almost done with this set of shelves. One more shelf and then a couple other things I'll show off. Hello. Almost done with the set. This is Stephen King's Dark Tower, plus a couple other books that aren't in the Dark Tower. Notably, like Skeleton Crew, Insomnia, Everything's Eventual. That's what it's called. There's a couple books that are definitely not in the Dark Tower here, like even The Stand. But I am reading an extended Dark Tower reading order right now, and I regret it because I'm really loving the Dark Tower books. And the other books, I'm like, they're good, but I want to go back to the Dark Tower. Anyway, I'm kind of like here. So I'm past all the books that are The Stand is covering. I'm just about to start the 3rd Dark Tower book, and I'm really loving the series. One thing I definitely want to show off, not this random collection of bullets for some reason. I got these Dark Tower comic books. I got these for really cheap. It was $20 for all 5, and I'm really happy. They're color, they're hardcover, they're really nice. There are more, but this is the whole arc. I believe these are the ones in book 4, so it's kind of like the prologue, the flashback. This is of the main character's, like, what is his journey before the first book. And oh, they're so cool. I love the art style. I'm very excited to read these. I'm actually going to read them sooner than later. I think probably right after book 4. I'll see what the internet tells me that I should do. Board games. I have a few of them. If anyone cares, Snake Oil and Telestrations are amazing party games. If you have friends who are kind of okay at improv, but also a little shy, those are really good for getting shy people out of their shell to do improv. Oh, more Stephen King books. Oh,
Nothing really notable there. More Stephen King books. I absolutely love these illustrated copies of The Dark Tower. I'm trying to collect them all. They look really nice. They're probably not being shown off too well here. I like them. And oh yeah, also a book I did read. I liked it, but it wasn't amazing. The Eyes of the Dragon. This is a first edition my sister picked up for me when she was in the U.S. not that long ago, and I'm pretty happy about that. Oh, I guess one other notable one. This is the Bachman books, including the one Stephen King book that is banned. And by banned, I mean he just didn't want it reprinted for reasons that you can Google. Look up banned Stephen King book. It's called Rage. Haven't read it yet, though, because I have problems. More books. Brown. Pretty books. Oh, Princess Bride. I could show you off those art prints, but I might do that later. Probably not, though, because they're art prints. There's only one reason I would specifically show them off, which I'll explain eventually, maybe. Blue and purple. I guess I did have more blue and purple. Vinland Saga. I want to collect all these. They're awesome. This is in the same set as previous one I talked about. I feel like they all kind of match the same vibe, so that's not insane to say. All that to say, this is the worst of the set. Unfortunate. White/gray. This one's a little bit of a mess. I'm loaning this book to my friend soon. This is some of my favorite covers. I like big dragons and big snakes. I'm not going to show it off now. I definitely showed it off in a previous video. The snake one is new, though. More black, but specifically black and gold was my goal here. I think the only interesting one is, because I'm getting into more contemporary literature, this book specifically interested me, everything I heard about it. It's about a dude wanting to build a cathedral. I'm sure there's more, but I'm very excited to pick that book up. I've heard amazing things about it, and yeah. I believe that is all for this shelf. Only a little more I'm going to show off. You have no idea how annoying this wig is. The skin to skin contact is fairly uncomfortable. You definitely can't see it very well in the video, but like it's got like things like look at how messy that looks. I need to try to make it look nicer. But I have a lot of skin exposed, and it is uncomfortable on that skin, and I keep getting hair in my face, in my mouth. It's gross, and I hate it. But what I don't hate, why is this there, is this little setup. I will maybe try to show it off better than this ugly angle, but whatever. These are some pretty books. There's a little pretty book nook here that I got as a gift, and built it, and it's very nice, and I like it. And I got some pretty books here, including the annotated and illustrated entire works of Shakespeare. Do I like Shakespeare? I mean, I should probably read him before I make that judgment. And one of my favorites, and maybe the most expensive book I own. This is The Out and the Making of Outer Wilds. I don't know that you can buy this book new anymore. I joined a Kickstarter thing. I am so glad I got this. It cost so much money. To buy the book was like, I don't know, something like 80 Canadian, and then the shipping was like another 30 to 40 Canadian. It was kind of absurd, but me and my friend both got it, and I really haven't read much of it yet, but what I have read, I have adored, and the art is so nice, and this is my favorite. This is tied for my favorite video game of all time. I have a few favorite video games. I'm actually not that big of a gamer, despite, me literally wearing a costume of a video game character, arguably. Really good video game. Oh, it's so good. And the other book I'm going to show off here briefly is The Art and the Making of Arcane. What do you think I'm dressed as today? Do you think I like this show? I also spent a lot of money on this book. Do you think I care about this? All right, first off, I gotta show off this slip jacket. Let me clip this on. Cool. This slip jacket comes off. It is hard plastic. It's not like a normal slip jacket. This is a clear hard plastic. I hope other books start doing this. It's probably expensive. It's so cool. But this looks so nice. It's got Jinx sitting in her chair at the front. And from the back, it's cool. I am really happy with this book. I just got it a couple days ago. Honestly, part of the motivation to make this video, other than that I'm moving. Oh, it looks so good. The art inside is great. I really love this vivid pink. That's the cover. I think it looks really nice. My wife is okay with it, and that's why she lets it sit underneath the coffee table TV stand thing, where it's so easy to access and I can show off to people when they come over and easily read it. But honestly, this book doesn't fit on any of my shelves. It is too tall. This is taller than the Outer Wilds one. Like, it beats it in a height competition by like only like half an inch, but it still is tall and huge. One day, when I have my own library room in a house, oh, that book's being on display. I love it. All right, let me briefly show off one more thing. This is my collection of movies because, as I'm sure you've gathered, I like collecting physical media. I could have all of those books for so much cheaper if I just bought the ebooks. But here's some movies. Some of these over here are my favorites. I actually have a lot loaned out right now, like all my Lord of the Rings movies and a bunch of my Christopher Nolan movies. But, I like these movies a lot. Pause the video and look at them. I like these movies a lot. My sister was very lovely and kind, and she's bought me a bunch of Steelbook Ghibli movies, and I believe she plans to slowly buy me the rest over the next couple of years. But the 2 or 3 that I'll quickly show off are The Departed. I fell in love with that movie, and I got a broken Steelbook. Intentionally broken. I got it for $5. Don't worry. I was not ripped off. Arcane. I kind of like this series. Can you tell? Is there anything like about this you can tell? I like Arcane. Did you know that? I like Arcane. Anyway, bunch of steelbooks for Ghibli. I've seen all except Arrietty. Yet to do that. And Akira. Ow. I haven't watched this movie, but I thought the steelbook looked really pretty, and I wanted to watch it in 4K. I have such a problem with spending money. And, my Wii games. I like the Wii as well. Best gaming console to ever be made. That is the end of this weird video. I might make another one of these after I move into my house, or maybe I'll wait 2 years after I've lived in my house for 2 years, and I'll show you the messy version of it all. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to an event eventually. Hi, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry that I am such a weird son. But it's fun being weird, so, sucks for you. Bye.